What's good, collective? I'm gonna see if you can see this. Will it show you the flame? Come like a flame of fire, a mighty rushing wind. Our praise will rend the heavens. Come fall afresh again. You provide the fire. I'll provide the sacrifice. You provide your spirit. I will open up inside. Fill me up, yeah. Fill me up. Fill me up. So, how's it going? So grateful to be here. I'm so grateful to be in divine purpose. What a ride. Am I right? You might still be in the middle of your ride. Let me just tell you, somehow, supernaturally, somehow, all things come together. It's all ingredients. It's crazy the front loading of revelation that had to happen in my life for me to be able to live through it. And if you don't know, I wrote a book called Through It, Unveiling the Conqueror Within. Through It, Unveiling the Conqueror Within. My name is Brittany Sunshine. This is Seed Soil Water. And anyway, I wrote that book thinking I had already been through it. And little did I know, I was about to go all the way through it. By the way, there's a song that's originally by Frank Ocean that's then redone by I'll have to link it or I'll post it in the community. By the way, check out the community tab. I post there sometimes. So I don't know if the robots feed your feed with my community posts, but check it out because there's different things there. And by the way, oh my gosh, congratulations to all of us for being here, and our collective is growing. We just exceeded the 500 mark. That is, I see this, and I'm getting Holy Spirit chills on it. I see this as 500 divine vessels, like 500 divine vessels with specific divine identity assignments that are all here. We have all made it here, through everything. We've made it here to embark on the next level of advancing toward the fulfillment of our divine identity, leveling up. I'm feeling heat on my back right now about that. So, whatever that means. But anyway, I'm so grateful that you're here. And by the way, I'm like celebrating, because I know that every person that is attracted to this channel, every person that has been led to this channel, I know that you have gone through something. You've gone through something. Ooh, okay. I'm starting to have some revelation here, and it's making me emotional a little bit. And I just want to say, they always say you can't lead people where you haven't been, or something like that, right? So just knowing that this is part of the story and that this is part of my purpose to be here with you all, and for all of us to learn from each other's story. Like, we're creating our own whirlwind of revelation, of change, of changing this realm. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, it's a beautiful thing that makes whatever I went through have so much more value, and it makes it a little bit more worth it, if that makes sense. So just thank you for being here. I hope you know how much I genuinely value who you are, what your divine identity stands for, and it's a really big deal because there's a ripple effect that will happen. And the ripple effect, let's go. Okay, the message is here. The ripple effect, think about it. So your soul is like that stone that's dropped in the water, and the ripple effect goes through the sphere of time. It goes backwards, it goes forwards, it goes every which way. So do not take it lightly. 444. Do not take it lightly that you're here. I hope, let me see how I can say this better. And by the way, it's not just me. Like, if it wasn't me, it would be somebody else. The Spirit has tons of vessels, and it probably is somebody else. It's probably lots of us. It is indeed lots of us. And I know that that's like, I love that part of the Spirit, that the Spirit uses all of the illuminated beings to release the sound and the kind of like the constant release of truth. And you'll hear it, and you'll hear it, and you'll hear it, 519. And you'll get it from multiple vessels, and that's how the confirmation is given to you. Okay, so this isn't about me. I'm just one of many. I'm a drop in the ocean. Drop in the ocean. Okay, sorry, I am so scattered this morning, but I'm really excited. This energy, maybe, and that's where I'm picking up on the collective energy. So I hope you're excited too, or otherwise something exciting is coming your way. Just wait for it. But what I was about to say about that other song that I was telling you originally was Frank Ocean, James Blake. Those are the two artists. And the James Blake version is just epically beautiful. And it goes, I will always love you how I do. Let go of a prayer for you. It's a free world. Oh my gosh, I'm going to cry. You look down on where you came from. But still you'll have this place to call home. Ooh. Frank Ocean is freaking genius, okay? He's really hard to sing. It's like, what are those notes? But anyway, the point is, wishing you Godspeed, glory. There will be mountains you won't move. I'll never forget the time where Yeshua sang that to me. I was listening to it, and I caught myself in the mirror in the bathroom, and it was like one of those moments where all of a sudden the Spirit was singing back to me, and it was like, it was just one of those moments that was so profound, confusing, because I didn't know what I was about to walk through. All right. Anyway, but we made it, yo. We made it. And now it's like, this is the crazy part about the journey. Now, what's coming next is not just like to go sit back and chill and like the front loading of Revelation, back to that part. Gosh, I hope you're following, because I am all over the place in this right now. The front loading of Revelation, one of the things was when, beloved, you are so loved, okay? The front loading of Revelation was talking about when you receive the inheritance, or when you make it, don't forget, like you're here for purpose, because that front loading of that revelation was so important, because by the time you make it, you don't get me wrong, there's plenty of time for rest. You will be restored, you will be refreshed, like that all happens. And then it's like, remember why you're here, yo. Like, you didn't just make it through that, you didn't just survive through that because, and then you're like, want to go and like, okay, now I just want to go sit down and chill like by myself for the rest of my life. Although that's tempting, but it's like, you got to remember who you are, remember why you're here, remember what your purpose is. And if you don't know yet, you're going to awaken to it, especially if you're here. This is the purpose of why we're all here together. 848. So, is there anything else in all of my scrambled ideas that I need to tie up the loose end? So go check out that song, check out the community tab on the channel, sign up for the weekly workshops if you want to go, and if you haven't been yet, we're going to sample modalities that pretty much all of these different practices and modalities and universal truth, principle, practices, actions, whatever you want to call it, that helped me get from the lowest of the low, with 2 babies in tow, by the way, to where we are now. And just so you know too, I haven't like arrived yet. Never will I have arrived yet, because I'm like, I look at the finished work and I'm like, I'm not going to waste any of that. So I will be always receiving the next level in divine identity, and with all of the luxury of the exceedingly, the abundantly, the far above anything I could ask, think, or imagine. Like, that takes some effort. You got to really start. I'm like, well, that sounds like a challenge to me. Like, I can think exceedingly, like, I can think pretty big. So I want to see you do exceedingly abundantly. Like, come on, 1001. How many seen the mirrored numbers? The mirrored numbers, they're everywhere. I'm seeing them all the time. So anyway, click the link for the workshops starting on the 28th. And we're just going to kind of, I think it's going to just kind of be a continual weekly. If you can make it sometimes, great. If you can't, great, no problem. We're just trying to get something new into your life, new into your day, to get you on to the next level that will usher in and help you align with the divine identity that's yours and all of the dreamy timeline things that are meant for you, okay? So, where do we start here? Authentic devotion. Remember the authentic devotion that you have to seeing heaven on earth. You know, I'm like, there's so many different ways to say it. Seeing evil cease and desist. So what do we got to do? We have to remove the barriers that are smudging our vision. Removing the things that's on our lens, the lens of our vision. We got to clean the lens of our vision. That includes the conscious and subconscious. That means healing wounds. That means breaking generational toxic patterns. That means stepping into the fullness of personal responsibility. It means overriding systems of man that are holding you back from who you are meant to be. And by the way, hey, real quick, just in case you don't know, there are energy pendulums at play that don't want you to do this. There are energy pendulums at play that want you to remain stuck, bound in the same 12-12. They want you to stay the same. So you have to come and find my channel. Don't count on the robots to serve up these important messages of truth to you. Come and seek out my messages. There ought to be at least one video every single week, if not 3. Attend the workshops where we can talk about things that are not limited by the limitations of platforms. This is rented space here on YouTube and TikTok and whatever else. I am delivering a message on real estate that I do not own. That means they could take it down anytime. That means I would lose touch with you. Heck, that in itself is a reason to click the workshop button and just send me your email so that you and I can at least have a way to remain in touch, okay? Because we have to realize that we wage not against flesh and blood, but against principalities of the air, against authorities of the spiritual realm. And whether we want to believe that or not, it's part of the realm it's part of the realm and this timeline that we're living in now. We know that there is a timeline that we can all subscribe to that is it is finishedness. We know that there is a timeline that we can all unifiably, we can all in a unified form and fashion, we can all subscribe. We can all we all as collectively, and this is what we're doing as we transmute darkness, heal wounds, break off from the old, stop identifying with the toxic patterns of the past or of the lineage that we've inherited, and tap into the Christ consciousness lineage, okay? Into that, with that elixir that heals all wounds, that changes everything. So there is a timeline that we can all subscribe to, but we must do it intentionally. And we must be aware of the game and the players in the game. And the more I talk about stuff like this, the more chances are that they're not going to like it. You know? So, but the spirit, right? Okay? So we got to stay in touch with it. 1441, mirrored. When we smile at the mirror smiles back. When we smile at the mirror smiles back. So when we attune to the revelation of sonship, okay, we're talking Bible now. When we attune to the revelation of the it is so-ness of the if the Son has set you free, surely you are free indeed, okay? So if we attune to that revelation, and if we all do, there's gonna be disruption. Is it not in the times and season right now? Can we not feel it in the air? There's a tug of war happening. We dispute and we do not consent to the fear-mongering, and we do not participate in it. But yet we have to move strategically. So that's what we're here for, and it's kind of a big deal. No pressure. And it makes sense why all hell came against a lot of us to try and keep us from getting to this moment, right? So sign up for the workshop, even if you don't intend on coming, just so that you can be on the list to stay connected collectively. So what we know through physics is that there is a timeline, and it makes sense. It was said, it was written in the word. He's like, it's finished, it's available, it's ready, it's within reach. He said, the kingdom of heaven is within reach. It's at hand. He kept saying at hand, which means like within reach. 16:16. So, and by the way, you can look up those numbers. You can look them up biblically. You can look them up angel numbers. You can look them up numerology. Let the inner guide of your spirit, who is the ultimate plumb line of truth, let that guide you, okay? You'll know. Okay. So, okay, now I'm feeling led to look up the 16:16 one. Please hold. So the point is 16:16. Hold on. We're getting somewhere. The power of come on. The power of individuality is what it says. A repetitive number by nature. This number wants you to let go of any concerns you might have regarding your material possessions. These should not be weighing you down for extended periods. You will find that you are just filled with anxiety the more that you're worried about material possessions. Let's see. Wants you to let go of any concerns that you may be having in regards to your material possessions. Okay. So you will overcome all challenges in your life by believing in yourself. You have the confidence to overcome every hard thing that is thrown at you. Trusting in yourself goes a long way in enabling your divine team to work with you. You are in charge of your life. Is this not so in flow with what we're talking about? Like, I see that as like a blessing and a reminder and but I also see it as a charge, like, remember, this is you, it's you and you right now, and it's important for you to step into the fullness of ownership of your life. That's why we're here. Okay? And just know that you have a divine team backup, like spiritually and also in the 3D, that will show up for you, and you don't have to know how it's all going to go. Okay? Okay. What else is there to say about this? I might start cutting this down or like just end it because, so declare to your atmosphere that you do not consent to deception and you do not consent to enslavement. I know that sounds weird, but I think you really ought to say it out loud with your voice. Believe it or not, the room is listening. We know that in the terms of technology, but there's also electrons that are listening. The sunshine's coming. Hi. So I do not consent to enslavement. I do not consent to deception. I do not consent to being controlled by any system other than only by the spirit of life. Only by the spirit of life, okay? Because you are the beloved. And the beloved has much affection, great affection toward you. So sweet. The moon. The moon's coming up, which can sometimes... So first of all, there's obviously cycles and rhythms of the moon. the moon, pulls on the tide of the ocean. How many of us know the moon often also, if you are in alignment, the moon also will pull on the tide of a woman. Okay? And then I'm also being reminded, like, sometimes the moon can be representative of the subconscious mind. And so there's like 90% of our daily operating program that's operating from underneath the surface in the soil. So it's like roots. Remember when did your mom pull weeds? Hi mom, thanks for pulling weeds and teaching me this. She always would say, like, you can't just pull the top off of the weed. You have to get the roots, because like you can pull off the green thing on the top and it looks like you've done it, but then there's this whole root system underneath that's just going to grow the top off the next time. It's just going to grow the top, is what I'm saying. So that's what subconscious mind work is. And that's part of what we're doing here in the workshops. We're going to be working on our subconscious mind, dealing with the things that are underneath the surface, and to actually make way. And then we're also going to be planting new seeds of revelation, of vision, of divine identity, of direction, of dreams, of purpose. So first we're going to uproot. We'll kind of do this all together. Like, there will be mixing and matches so that everybody, no matter what week you can make it, you'll be able to get something out of it. But we're going to uproot, and then we're going to tend to the soil, nurture the soil, and then we're going to plant new fresh seeds, and then we're going to water them. Seed, soil, water. It's like the Spirit knew what he was talking about when he gave me these ideas several years ago. So anyway, I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited that we all made it here. I hope you enjoyed this weird ramble. The energy is very like sporadic, but it's also excited, energized, and focused, believe it or not. Even though I'm all over the place, I know exactly where we're going, and we know how we're going to get there. And through the divine spirit, all things are going to work together for your good. Okay? So I'm so stoked. Let's do this thing. Be blessed, be well, be free.